picture.
Yes.
You can put picture, whatever picture in your settings.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So she saw this woman and she was surprised. She said, hey, she texted me. She said, hey, I saw somebody that looks like you. So she was asking me if I have any relatives that's living in that area. I said, no.
What a blessing.
Oh.
What a blessing. Because
So actually the universe is trying to tell me something.
it's the mirror. You remember I taught on the mirror of yourselves?
Mm-hmm.
The 10 trillion fractals, those are those things. It's not by accident. It's not by coincidence. This is divine intervention, divine dichotomy.
So what is the meaning, Pastor? What's the meaning?
So you can see an aspect of yourself through your sister.
My sister?
Yeah. She's your family. Not blood.
Oh, okay.
Not blood, but spiritual family.
Mm-hmm.
Should I do something or no, or what?
Enjoy the relationship. There's nothing to do. Enjoy it. Are you fighting with her?
No, I do not know her.
Good.
But this person just tell me that. And
because they want to connect you to, because that's your sister. That's another aspect of you. She sees, watch this. She sees an aspect of your beingness in another person. She sees your characteristics in another person. That's all. She sees the physical face that's similar, but not only that, the spiritual. Because if not, she would not have brought it up.
oh,
Hey, not only does this person look like you, but wow, might not say in words, they have your spirit, but when they say, oh, she looks like you, what they're saying is this is a complete package of, wow, there's a lot of similarities between you and this person, and there's a great distance. Do you know this person? Do you have family there? Nope, never met him, nope. Now their mind is boggled because they're seeing another Melissa with a husband, with kids in Indonesia, living a different life. And y'all never talked, you never met.
So she asked me for my picture. I guess she tried to connect.
Yeah. What a blessing that is. Get it all the time. No, you don't have to do anything. Just take it as a great compliment.
Okay.
Just take it as a beautiful compliment that someone acknowledged there's another similarity person to yourself that they admire. It's an admirer. They admire you.
Oh my gosh.
It's an honor.
I'm gonna show you, Pastor.
Okay.
Really, show it to Pastor. Show it to him.
You can send it to him through text. No.
Oh my gosh. That is your twin all day long. As we would say, that's two peas in the pod.
Even my sister don't look like me.
Yeah, even your sister doesn't look, yeah. But this is a bigger version of Melissa.
That's your other soul family. We're all, at the end of the day, we always say what? We're what?
We're one.
We're all one. There's just different aspects of yourself. That's all. How beautiful that is. So enjoy it. Universe is saying, hey, there's another beautiful person with the same similarities, same characteristics as yourself in another place, doing just as important work as you are doing right now in the United States.
Mm.
And it makes a big difference globally. Even though you've never exchanged words, you've met in the spirit. I tell you guys, meet each other in the spirit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they call it kindred spirit. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other ones? Sister Williams, good morning. How are you? She must mute us out. All right. Any other questions? Anything before we get started?
Okay, 2 days ago, I had a thought that came in and said, because I was thinking, right, about I was thinking what kind of job, what kind of work I want to do. And then the thought came in and said, uh, you are unconditional love,
Mm,
and that is your job.
that's your job. Yes.
And then I was thinking like, oh, so that's my job, okay? To practice unconditional love, to practice, and then to inspire or to influence others, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then I was thinking, can I? Is it logical to say that, okay, I accept my job, right? My responsibility in giving out unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
And in return, the universe will pay me very well. Just
Yes.
that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm not going to work.
I didn't want to work either. And I haven't worked in 10 years. I refuse to work. I get itchy. I'm allergic to work.
That's what I said too.
Yeah. I'm allergic to work. Yeah, I get itchy right now. I got to take Benadryl for work.
Allergy.
It makes me allergy. But because you practice unconditional love and you are unconditional love, the universe will pay you in wealth of abundance and prosperity and health and time to enjoy it. That's truth.
That's true.
Your gifts will always pay you because that's what you're naturally good at. You don't, people, watch this. People who are naturally gifted singers who can sing very beautifully, they can sing in front of anyone without getting nervous, per se. Vice, you get me in front of people and try to sing and I can't sing, I'm gonna be shaking like a leaf. That's not my natural gift. But if you say, Pastor, we want you to speak on spirituality or this, then I could speak in front of everyone and get paid for that gift. You see my point? So your gift is what you naturally do in front of people, behind closed, you're just happy to do it. My father can play the keyboard very well in front of millions of people, but if you tell him to say his name in front of those people, he'll forget. He'll freeze up. But you say, hey, Dad, I need you to play. He'll get on that keyboard and just like nobody's there. And they will pay him. They pay him for that. When I go preach at other churches, they pay me $150, depending on where I go for each church. That's my gift.
Okay.
My gift is to teach.
Okay.
So yes, your gift can actually bring you money without you going into a physical job. Absolutely. I'm living proof because I've not worked in 10 years. I don't like getting up, going to punch a clock and listen to somebody who don't like me, and I'm gonna have to fight these emotions not to hate them or complain about how much money I'm not gonna get or how many hours that I had to work. I can't go take a nap. I can't, no, so that's too many restrictions for me. I did that for 20 years. I don't want to do that no more.
Yeah.
So what I have, so when I sent you guys to make your annual income, your monthly income, I was teaching you financial literacy from a spiritual perspective on how to do it. The 5 steps is still the same way to do it. Ask. Step 2, God's job. Step 3, believe and receive. But when you do this, it's all about your emotion. So when I say vibration, all we're saying is your emotion. That's nothing more, nothing else. If we say frequency, we're just talking about your emotion. That's nothing more, nothing less. So if we say vibration, frequency, same thing. We're just using it in contextual. That makes sense?
Yes. Yeah. I because I was thinking of what kind of job I can do. I'm not very good in anything, you know. So I was saying like, wait a minute. I have the best thing the world needs.
You are good at counseling people. You read people like a book, and you know them, and you know when to use wisdom, you know when to be stern, you know when to have compassion, you know when to be quiet, you know when to speak, You know when to be authoritative. You know these things. People come to you and give you all their problems.
I know, but they don't listen.
That's why that's the thing, Pastor. And also we do it without getting paid.
They're going to pay you now. I'm showing you how to get it paid.
Yeah.
I'm trying to show you where they're going to shove money in your pockets.
Okay.
Absolutely. You cannot be afraid to say, hey, I want this services. This is my services. Hey, I tell you what, if you want more of what this is, I tell you what, here's my hours of operation. I charge $120 for 1 hour. Absolutely.
Oh, like that.
Absolutely. And they pay me. You can hit me with PayPal, Zelle, cashier's check, no written checks, because that might bounce.
Really? Now we have to figure out how we're going to do that.
Yeah, so just place it out there in the universe and say this is what you want to do. Because I was thinking like what kind of job I can do, but I was finding it very hard. And then just 2 days ago, the answer came back is that you are unconditional love. So your job is unconditional love. That was it. Like, what kind of job is that?
That is the best job in the world. You trying to take my job?
That's why I was asking Lily the other day. I said, my angel continue to tell me that, oh, I have to be working spiritually, find a job that is, you know. And I was saying, what kind of job is that? And then she told me, oh, non-profit.
You all said you want to be a public speaker. That's one aspect of being a public speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Find a place that will give you the certification, the legitimacy, take that course, and then run with it, because you can make 6 or 7 figures out of public speaking. You really can. And you're good at it. So what am I going to speak on? You're going to speak on unconditional love because 1, I taught it to you. 2, you're already that. And 3, the world needs way more of it because they don't know what love is.
Okay. Is that why I saw a PhD program last night?
You're welcome.
Okay. You take it. You take it. I'll just behind you.
No, it's like it's a US program.
Team effort.
Oh,
Team effort. You see, team effort. It's always team effort. You see,
Team effort.
remember I help you with your master degree.
Y'all can lean on each other. Watch this. When you have 2 that's teaching love, how more powerful are you than 1? When you have 2 teaching the power of unconditional love, how powerful are you?
Mm.
I know. I mean, it multiplies, right?
You can both make $300,000 easily.
Every day.
You see the straight face? Each time you go to a university and speak, they pay you large amounts of money.
Mm.
Each of you do a Google search on how much public speakers make. Top quality ones, and see how much they start off.
Okay, Lily.
Successful ones. Don't do
Let's do that.
Garbage, but the successful ones.
You know, Melissa is very happy because then she can push that stuff to me, and then she'll be in the background and I'm in the forefront.
Yeah. You know, Pastor. Actually, the people that is at the back is working the hardest than the front.
I understand.
You know, the people at the back has to do research, have to do, you know,
Look at the blessing behind it.
the groundwork.
But look at this blessing. Just on this brief talk, y'all are starting to be entrepreneurs. This is a business meeting.
Yes.
Because now it's business.
Mm-hmm.
How do we make money with the gifts we have? And that's all I've talked to you. And really that kind of goes into line with what we're teaching, where on page 274, it says the decision to accept the truth that is true always. One of the truth that is true always is that there is no lack in your life. No lack. You have nothing but abundance and prosperity, more than your wildest dreams could even imagine a dream.
Mm-hmm.
I give you keys to go open the doors to go get your wealth.
Mm-hmm.
They pay me to talk this all day to people. Some people get it for free. Some people get it for free from me, and some people I charge.
Okay, Lily, take the PhD. Okay.
Okay.
And
So
then
this is why meditating 5 minutes a day is very important on what y'all are discussing. Because one, it brings you the neutrality. Two, it brings you the clarity. Two, it brings you the solution to what you're trying to create. So Pastor said, oh, public speaking. That's the easiest way because you don't check in the clock to anybody other than yourself. Now you're independent contractor.
okay, you see, Lily, you be the public speaker, and I be your manager. I arrange you to go to places. Because, Pastor, right now I'm in the nonprofit, a treasurer of nonprofit. I can do a lot of things.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I can go to places. And last night, somebody just said that, hey, you speak Mandarin. You know, I want you to connect with those Chinese. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God.
And you can, and realistically, you can say, well, you know, it's kind of difficult, my time, you know, I have to charge a little bit of money or donation. Donations are better than I'm gonna charge you, because if you're afraid to charge them, then you can say donations. Yeah, I take donations to translate. Because you don't have a translator. Oh, we'll get someone else. Okay, fine. No big deal. I'm just giving you ideas. You don't have to do that.
You see, Lily, so you get the PhD. I arrange you to have a public speaking. Then we pay you. Seriously, we pay you.
Go back to
Toastmasters.
So it's really making the decision on which way you want to go. The first truth that I tell you is, truth that's always true is, one, you and God are one. You and the Father are one. Accept that truth first and foremost. Say yes, Pastor.
Yes.
Because this is the way you transform how you're trying to view yourself for what you want to experience. It's a transformation. But if you don't take 5 minutes of meditating as the Christ, the anointed one is God, what does God want to do today? What does God want to be today? What does God want to experience today? What does God want to create today? Today, God wants to be an entrepreneur, to be a public speaker. And God wants to make $150,000 doing it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And they're going to pay me joyfully and not grudgingly for doing this.
Yeah, that's the one. I would say people are more than happy to give me their money.
Yeah. Because if you don't take that idea, you got to, in other words, when you make these type of decisions, you have to be fearless.
Yeah.
There is no fear when you're connected to God. For God does not give you fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. Does that make sense? So when you accept that me and my Father are one, that removes every judgment, that removes every separation, that removes every obstacle. Make sense? So when you look at the lesson, a lot of people in verse in the third, actually, I and my Father one. Now that is out of the way. How would we live as Christ in this dimension? How would a Christ bring himself or herself to each moment of experience? What voice would Christ listen to? These are the questions you ask when you're beginning to create. I don't want to work, but we need extra income. Not a problem. Too easy. What am I good at? Love. How can I get paid for it? Various ways. Too many ways to get paid for love. That makes sense? Okay. So one of the things is with people, the struggle to awaken is the very obstacle to its accomplishment. People are not woke because here's why. They're fearful to go out and try to accomplish the dream. It is written, Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. But if you don't take action, how will you ever achieve it? In other words, watch this. I often tell people who want a relationship to build their spouses or build their wives or build their husbands. And I always say, write 10 things down that you want out of that person and be specific. You do the same thing with what you're wanting in terms of unconditional love. How can I get paid for unconditional love? Step 1, this is what I want. Step 2, step 3, step 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 steps. We never go past 10. Then you get in unbelief. 10 is a good solid number because now you got 5 and 5.
Yeah.
So write it out, 10 things. I told you when I went to Indonesia, there was a woman who was wanting a husband for 13 years, I think. And when I went over there, the pastor says, oh, she's been praying for a husband for 13 years. And I had to ask her, what in the world were you praying for?
A man, that's it.
Obviously not, because he didn't come. I told her to write 10 things down of what she wanted from her husband. Notice, she wasn't married yet. I spoke her husband. She registered that. Okay, what do you want him to look like? I want him to be 6'4" with blonde hair, blue eyes. Write it down. I want him to have an income that supports me and our children comfortably. She wrote it down. I want him to be in the church as a musician that we can travel. Write it down. So we went all the way down, all the way 10. And when my ship left, a year later, my ship returned and I forgot about her. And I called the pastor up, hey, my ship's back in port. He says, hey, would you like to come speak? And I said, sure, no problem. So I go to the church. We're sitting in his office. And out of nowhere, he goes, she got married. And I went, who? He goes, the woman that you prayed for and wrote the 10. I said, oh, yeah, really? I said, what happened? He says, 1 month after you left, I invited this church from the United States to come over. And he was the music director working for a major company or major college here in the United States, making really good money. And he happened to be coming through and they invited him and they hooked up. To this day, they're still married happily with 2 kids.
Mm.
This was 15 years ago. So you write it out. And every day I told her, put it on a mirror. If you're brushing your teeth, every morning, just recite those 10, nothing more. Just 6'4", blonde hair, blue eyes, got this color. I wanted to have this and whatever. Because some people like them ugly, some people like them pretty, some like them thick, some like them short, some people like them, with glasses, no glasses, bad breath, good breath, whatever. Their preference. But I said, put it in a place where you go each time consecutively, where you can visually see it. I say, so if you're on the commode, put it face level where if you're sitting there doing nothing, might well read your affirmation while you're sitting there doing nothing. Use the time preciously. You ain't going nowhere. You got to go do your business. Why not do the 10 while you're there? And then it's fresh in your mind. She even posted it on her refrigerator. So each time she went to the refrigerator, before she went and got a drink, she recited, because she told me she had to recite it. She had this thing all over her house.
Okay, I need to do that.
1 month. That's all it took. And they've been married for over 15 years. With teenage children now. That's how it's done. But she had to believe, she had to practice the 5 steps. She had to make the decision that was always true, that her and God are one, and God loved her so much that there was someone out there for her. She was in her believing that there was nobody for her. So she made the decision to choose, I'm going to be lonely. I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be depressed. Even though I'm going to pray for a relationship, I'm still going to carry these emotions. I say, get rid of that junk.
Mm.
Because that weighs everything that you're wanting down, and you're only going to get the negative aspect of that and not the positive.
Mm.
I said, if you ain't seen it in 15 years, good Lord, or 13 years or whatever, too long. It don't take that long to find a relationship. It really don't. Relationships are probably the easiest thing to do on this planet. It really are.
It's easier than money.
It is so easy with money. So easy.
You see, that's why.
The hardest things, I'm going to give you, this is not part of the lesson, but the two hardest things on this planet that people have not mastered is wealth and position. Rarely people can handle wealth and position at the same time. Those are the two biggest things that people really, really struggle with on this planet.
Position.
Yeah, your position, authority, status.
Yep. Because if you're not grounded in your position of, when we say position, what we're really saying at the core of it, who you know yourself. I am comfortable with this black skin, with this bald head, with these funny eyeballs, with these funny ears. I am comfortable. This is me. Here's all my flaws. Here's every, I am okay and comfortable in this skin. Accept me. Don't care. This is me. That's the first principle. Know yourself. Love thyself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because anybody else can fall out of love with you.
Oh.
Absolutely. Get mad at Sudi and you'll cross your arms and Sudi's in big trouble now. Sudi got to go make up and kiss up and I love you, baby, and buy gifts and give you money and take you shopping and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Okay, here's my credit card.
Yeah. Soon as
My
you
bank
do this,
account.
not that you didn't stop loving him, but that's a different level of love, right? That's love with conditions. Sister Meekins does it to me all the time. That's not unconditional love. But you see the point? When you love Christ, then you let Christ pull you. You let it attract you into spending that 5 minutes, because out of that is where you go be a deliberate creator. That's the beauty of it. When you practice the exercise of 5 minutes, we want you to know when you're doing the heart breath and the root breath, what we want you to do is feel what your body's feeling. What is the body doing? Is my fingers tingling? Is my head tingling? Why is this important? Because once I know myself, now it's easier to me to choose what I am wanting and why I want it. Most people want things and don't really know why they want them. Other than, oh, I want it because it might give me temporary pleasure in this moment. How does it serve everybody else? Oh, well, Pastor, I didn't think about that. I was only thinking about myself. Well, that's fine, but what are you going to do with it afterwards?
You see, you have to consider about other things, right?
Absolutely.
What you want.
When the mind awakens, it doesn't see a distinction between anything. It doesn't have a distinction between here or there. There's no distinction. When you have no distinction, now you're able to create deliberately the 5 steps because you're not judging it. The woman who prayed for those years, she had not awakened. She was still sleeping. Until we showed her the visualization, there's no distinction in what you're wanting. You made a distinction and separation thinking, oh, not God's time, not his will, all these excuses, and that's all they were excuses of this is why I don't have it. And we say, nope, that's not true. You can have anything you want. Everyone was born to have a relationship or a partner if they choose. If they choose. If they choose to be alone, that's the free choice to choose it. But be happy with self and don't complain about, oh, I wish I had a man or I wish I had a woman. So if you're going to be single and solo, and say, I'm going to be single and solo forever. A person has to say, I love myself wholeheartedly and nobody else can complete me. I am self-satisfied. Me and my Father are one. He completes that aspect of what I am desiring, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. This is where wealth and position is very hard because they don't understand the spirit, emotionally, they don't understand these things. Spirit leads, mind follows, body obeys. Because if you don't understand your position, you'll abuse your power or get abused. If you don't understand wealth, you will never be wealthy because you will always mismanage your money. Wealth is everything that you see as value, not just the golden coins. You see my point? In other words, you see the value in the husband. You see the value in the wife. You see the value in everything as this is all my wealth. My health, this is my wealth. Make sense?
Okay.
When you jump down to page 275, but rather reality is returned to the mind. It is suffices what the mind experienced in the literal world that you thought you used to know. Building, cars, governments, and all the rest simply become temporary, harmless illusions that seem to have hoodwinked you or your brothers and sisters who are part of you. Because the world is now seen in transparency as no longer fearful to you, you're free to walk and abide, and as long as the body lasts, quietly, joyfully, going about your most extraordinary tasks, except that they have been translated into the means whereby you demonstrate truth of love to the world. You're expressing truth to the love to the world. So when you're making those decisions, everything is done out of what?
Love.
Love. Why?
That's what we are.
But why? Love never what?
Fails.
Love never fails. So if love never fails, you always win. Win-win situation. Make sense? Reactivity, suffering, doubt, depression, in other words, dis-ease, can only be the reflection of a decision to use the power of the mind to desire and therefore to perceive and experience what is unlike the truth of the kingdom. In the kingdom, there is no depression, there is no sadness, there is no suffering, there is no ego, there is no separation, there's no judgment. It don't exist. Freedom, peace, unlimitedness, and above all else, fearlessness must necessarily be the result of the decision to use power of the mind to what? Remember. We always say, know yourself, who you are. Well, how do I know myself, Pastor? How would you know yourselves? How would you know yourselves? Not just, how would you know yourselves? How would you know yourselves spiritually? How would you know yourselves physically? How would you know yourselves mentally?
I guess you have to meditate.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you go inside.
Yes.
And then you can observe, like see yourself.
How many of y'all have ever practiced when you're meditating, visualizing yourself from the outside?
All the time.
When I didn't see everybody else was quiet. So me and Lily, you're the only strange one. So you'll understand when I say this. But when you're meditating and you see yourself from outside yourself, what are you experiencing? Peace, awareness, excitement, intrigue.
So when you're saying from the outside means you're viewing yourself as a third person, is that it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Then it becomes not so personal. So you remove yourself, but you're watching your own movie going through, and then you realize that what is wrong.
Now
I didn't realize that. I felt like I was able to control the story when I do that.
Right. And when we say, I'm just using the example of visualizing yourself from the outside. That's just an example, but you all do it in your own unique ways. If you meditate. If you don't meditate, you're not going to get this.
I used to be able to do, I have been I can do that even without meditation. So sometimes I just need a time, like I'm going to tell myself, oh, I'm going to reflect on it. What's wrong? What's not working? Then, then you have to remove yourself from this, and then you watch the whole process, and then you become aware that, oh, okay, so my reaction was not appropriate because this is, then you correct yourself.
You have clarity of the problem that you're experiencing.
Yeah.
When you see it from that perspective, just like Anson said also, it might come in a dream. It might come from writing. It might come from the plants. It might come from different things that give it to you so that you can say, okay, now let me have that freedom, that peace, and that unlimitedness. Let me get rid of the fear. Now I can have clarity of what I am wanting, what I'm desiring, because I can see the wholeness of where I am standing right now. Where's my position right now? Wealth and position. What's my position right now? Here's another position aspect. What is my emotion? Am I melancholy? Am I sad? Am I depressed? That's a position. I can have wealth, but if I'm angry all the time, how useful is the money? If I have wealth and I'm abusive in my authority, how well did I serve humanity to show them what wealth and position looks like? If I mismanage my wealth and my position, how can I train others prosperity and abundance? Almost impossible.
Yes.
That makes sense? Once you gave it purpose, unlike God's, and this is what people do, they separate it. They separate themselves from whatever because they don't meditate. So now they talk about the problem to everybody they meet. They tell how big the problem is, how bad the problem is, how they got into the problem. And then like other people come and do what? Tell similar stories. So now you got a group of people telling the same story. All right.
Hello.
Being a bratty dog. But does that make sense?
Yes.
What they did was people give their minds misperception that does not look like God's perception. It doesn't look good, holy, and beautiful. It comes with judgment, fear, anxiety, worry, all these other things, right? But when you meditate as Christ, the purpose that you see in the world is shared by your Creator with you. Your will has become the same as God's, merely to abide and to be of service in the process whereby those who have been hoodwinked can remember the truth and become free. So each time you encounter someone, your job is to wake them up, and their job is to help you remember to wake up also. Is everybody going to wake up immediately? No. People will fight you because a lot of people like hitting the snooze button.
Yes.
They don't want to wake up. Some people like pulling the covers over when they know they should be getting out of bed. And they still got bed hair and not. That's Anson's word, by the way. I love that word. I have no hair, but I try to use it. But it's our job to wake them up and help them get some freedom so they can have happiness, bliss, joy, wealth, position, relationship with God. That's what our job is. So you can get paid for those things. It no longer matters how that occurs. That is what form your teaching occurs in, or what form your teaching occurs in. In other words, when you're in the grocery line and that person starts telling you all their business, you automatically become the teacher. That becomes your classroom. Because that person entrusts you with their most intimate secrets and their problems to get a quick answer because they know only you can give it to them. Why do you think they don't ever tell everybody else in the whole line their problems? And you're thinking, why are they only talking to me? And there's 5 other people in this line, including the cashier.
And then when we give that advice, they don't. They don't.
I was thinking, what you ask when you don't listen?
Well, they hear you, but the thing is, you're the seed planter.
Oh.
You just plant the seed. They, in other words, look at the beautiful relationship that they're having with you. You don't know this stranger, but they're willing to give you their personal information in a short time.
Mm-hmm.
You never see them again.
Mm.
But you planted the seed. They trust you enough because they go, Lily's my family and I can give her this secret because she's not going to judge me. She's not going to condemn me. She's not going to criticize me. She's going to give me exactly the loving words and the compassion and the wisdom, bless you, that I need in this short amount of time while we're pushing this cart. And it happens all the time. Even if you're in the bank, waiting in line, somebody all of a sudden just starts coming in and all of a sudden they start talking to you.
True.
Lunch line, in the restaurants or wherever. That becomes your teacher, and it doesn't matter how it occurs, because now you're sharing the truth with them that they are free also. They see freedom in your freedom. When you're free, people want that freedom, especially if they're slaves. Make sense? It is all the same. You see no difference between your form of someone else's, for you will recognize the teachers of God. Where you are in any moment becomes a divine gift, literally dropped in your lap as an opportunity to enjoy the remembrance that you are one with God. An opportunity to remember that everything you are seeing is a passing illusion, in the sense that it used to have a purpose that seemed concrete, and that purpose has dissolved and gone. Where did the world go? I used to think it was a fearful place. I used to think that I had to get ahead. I used to think that there were those who would come victimize me. Now I just see harmlessness. I see nothing out there that can add anything to me. I simply at rest and at peace, delighting in at the plan of my Father's kingdom, and where I am, Christ abides. This is where I get, I'm unoffendable. You can't offend me. And people try. People get on the phone and cuss like a sailor and try to offend. But because I'm unoffendable and I stay in Christ's mind, which is always love, it doesn't bother me.
But what if they say our action offended them, and they want us to apologize, that kind of thing?
That's fine. Would you rather be right or at peace?
So like for me, sometimes the parents will come in and accuse me of, not doing the right thing. And I say, oh, okay, I'm sorry if you think it that way, but I'm sure I don't do that.
Yes.
If you need an apology, I give it to you.
Yeah.
And then they will shut up, and then they go like, okay.
Because they didn't expect that. It's the same way of how I handle customers back at the regional district. They will come in and they'll be like blaring. It's like, your company is so stupid. And I was like, what just happened? And I just told them like, look, you need me to apologize, I will, but I need to know what's going on first. And they would just be like baffled because they didn't expect that kind of reply. They were expecting me to be shouting back at them instead of just trying to communicate with them.
Right. Absolutely. And this is where you all become master teachers, because each one of you know how to handle those type of situations. You didn't get consumed as a victim in that other person's stress. Where you've seen it before, where he comes in shouting and then the other guy or gal starts shouting, and now there's a shouting match and nothing gets done. All they did was create a broken web of relationship. Now there's judgment. Now there's more separation. Now there's more no love, more fear, more misunderstanding, because at the end of the day, it really boiled down to a misunderstanding. You're screaming at me and I don't know why you're screaming at me. Tell me what's happening. If I give it to you, hey, I'm sorry. I would rather be at peace than rather be right. It's okay. That is not a form of weakness. That is opposite, which is technically strength. Because you use that strength to diffuse that situation. Anson is very good at diffusing those type of situations. Hey, I'll apologize, but hey, explain what's happening to me. You're shouting You're shouting a story at me, and I don't know the book cover, the title, the author, other than you just said my company sucks. Why does it suck?
Mhm.
What can we do as a company to fix this?
Mhm.
How can we restore the reputation and make this customer happy and not lose money for the company?
Mhm.
And then somebody sees Anson do that. Wow, he got good leadership skills. Hey, we think he'll be a good promoter. He'll be a good manager. He'll be a good supervisor. Now there's promotion because now you know how to handle people, because that's all leadership and management is managing people, managing situations. And you manage it in what? Love. I don't hate you because you're disappointed. And I don't take it personally because you're shouting at me. Wow. I didn't expect that. I was expecting a fight. I had my gloves on, had my mouthpiece in. I was ready to box you out. You was going to get all of that. But that didn't happen. And then watch this. Now there's conversation, peaceful, and now the misunderstanding is cleared up majority of the time. And now it's diffused. And now they like you. They still hate the company, but they like you.
Mm-hmm. I don't want them to like me. Just talk to someone else.
But here's the thing. And I have to tell you all this. The law of attraction says you brought those people into your experience to learn about yourself.
Oh.
What did you learn out of diffusing that situation? I've been there before. I've been irate. I've been missed. You've been there before.
Yeah.
You understand.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody handled it the way you did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like I see most of the parents that when they come back with an issue is that I saw myself. And that was how I would react 30 years ago, screaming at the teacher or the first person that come and talk to me. And so I said, okay, I understand. Okay, it's about your kid. This. Okay, calm down. If we've done anything wrong, I will apologize. But please, listen to me, right? This is. And then we'll go like, okay. I said, well, if you want to take your child away from, our service, that's fine.
Right.
But let me tell you, you face the same problem everywhere.
Yep. Yep. And then they're stubborn enough to say, okay, and go do it. And then guess what? How many return students come back?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they have to almost not apologize, but they kind of eat those words.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to pretend that I didn't remember that episode. I'll just say, oh, after a long break, she's coming back. Oh, that's good.
Same issue back in regional district too. We have this one customer that always come in every 3 months with the same issue. And then someone shoved it to me and I was like, why am I taking care of this? He asked the same question for 3 months, every 3 months. So after talking to him and explaining to him, and then I actually asked him, is there a reason why you're coming back here every 3 months? And then he was looking at me. So you guys remember? Yeah, we logged everything in our book.
Right.
And he never came back after that because he knows the answer already.
Right. And you had to gently, with wisdom and love, say, hey, I'm just kind of curious. What happens every 3 months? And he goes, wait a minute. Y'all watching me. You're paying attention to me.
Yeah.
I just want to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't want to be heard anymore because you're watching me now.
Yeah.
That makes me uncomfortable because now I know that you know that I know that I'm in the books now.
Mm-hmm. True.
So now he doesn't come back and you don't have that issue anymore, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See?
But,
okay.
And this is how all of it works. So it's the decision to choose the truth that is true always, is you and the Father are always one. We are always, everybody you come in contact with, just say we're one. That's just my extended family acting crazy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, question, Pastor.
Yes.
Okay, you remember about there's a few people that I have moved forward don't want to do anything to do with them.
Mhm.
Bless them, do whatever they need to do. Okay, like all right. So yesterday, they came into my experience.
Good.
Okay, and my mind is blank. Okay,
Mhm.
nothing. It's just that they came to my experience. Oh my God, because apparently unevitable that we're gonna meet them, but the world is so huge. Why we have to meet them again? So my question is, what is the lesson?
That's for you to learn.
Ah,
No, and what? No, here's this. This is not a cop out, but each time you come around that person, here's what we want you to monitor. How do you feel about them? What is your thought about them? What's your perception about them? What's your judgment against them or not against them? Ask those questions. When this person come around, how does it make my body feel? How does it make my nerves feel? How does it make me, how does my thought to them affect me?
no, I just don't want. My feeling is that they came into my experience. We did not talk. I just saw them there.
Oh, that means nothing.
You know.
It's okay. Again,
Okay.
when you saw them, what did you feel? That's the lesson.
Oh.
We are visual people. Watch this. If I take you to a beautiful vegetarian restaurant and they have the most beautiful vegetables in all the world, and I present it to you on a trash can, visually, does it look good? No. But we're visual people, right?
Mhm.
When you visually saw that person, what did it do to you emotionally? That would be the lesson.
No, I stayed and I said, I'm there because my organization contributed and we volunteer for the event. Okay, it's a homeless feeding the homeless in a church in Riverside. Okay, but that church was organized. It's actually a Chinese association that having the event there. Okay, and that church is walking distance from this people church.
Okay.
So I was surprised to see them there. Okay, I was surprised. Oh, they came, perhaps by invitation. They were there. Okay, so my feeling was, okay, it's a public place. They have a right to be there. Okay, so we did not talk. I only saw them from afar.
So what question? Just curious. Why didn't you go speak to them?
No, because I do not want to be involved in anything, and I do not want to hear anything that I have got to say.
That's where your lesson is.
Because, okay, it's water under the bridge.
Okay.
Okay, for years, I told you, for 10 years, I planted the seed.
But what we're saying is, what is wrong with saying, hey, how you doing without getting involved?
No, because these people will not understand.
That's your lesson.
They will not understand that, hey, it's over.
Right.
Okay, by talking, unless they pass in front of me, I will say good morning. Okay, I will say good morning, but I will not go there and say, hey, how are you doing?
Right, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I will not do that because it's really, I do not want to have anything to do with them.
And that's the lesson.
I do not want to do, but you see, this
Here's
is
what's
it.
Gonna
And
here's
guess what? So, okay. So I went home. Okay, they left early. So I was thinking, oh, my vibration is higher, so they left. I could have stayed.
But what happens when you go to the next meeting and they cross you?
That's my question to you. That's my question to you.
That's the lesson, because you should have just went and said, "Hey, how you doing? Good to see you guys. Hey, and walk away."
I'll do that.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I
I
would
will do that. The next time I will do it.
Good. Oh, stay. I go work.
Yeah.
No. If they really come into my experience again, and you know, because the organization, the nonprofit is going to hold a health to wealth event.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big event. Anybody can have a booth there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a health, and one of the guy is into health.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so the president of the organization took his business card and sent it into our chat group,
Mm-hmm.
and say that, oh, okay, this is a lead.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a lead. So I cannot prevent that. If let's say anything, so I was thinking to myself, okay, yeah, he's in health. Okay, if the organization call him, you know, the community, the head of the community for the event, call him and ask him to hold a booth there, you know.
Mm-hmm. Can't prevent it.
So how? I mean, I'm there. I'm the treasurer.
Right. Anson, what were you going to say?
At the end of the day, I was just continuing what Mom was saying about being a hi-bye friend. That's all. In fact, it's not even a friend. It's more of a hi-bye acquaintance kind of behavior. Catching on to what Aunt Mel is saying, I was in that situation before with one of my consultants. Long story short, they suck. But at the end of the day, we wanted to go into one of our conventions just to talk about what the project is all about, because they build a project and wherever it is. They're the main consultant. I can't say no.
Right.
But I know well enough that my manager and I are just despised them. And so how she told me to do it's like, you know what, Anson? You're a much nicer guy than I am. I'll get cranky and I'll probably tell them to F off. How about you do something for me? And I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it. So what I did was, instead of just behaving how I normally am to a lot of people by like knowing them and just becoming best friends, I'll just be business only. Yes, you'll be talking to them. Yes, you'll see them, but that does not mean that you should not treat them any different as if they were a human being.
Correct. Correct.
And at the end of the day, you still have to tell them like, look, whether you want to talk to me or not, I have no qualms. Whatever is over is over. Right now, we're just doing business. If you have any questions, come to me. If there's nothing else, I have other work I need to take care of.
That's it. Perfect. Problem solved. Couldn't have said it better.
I know it's not easy when you're looking at those people who try to step all over you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good picture.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if you can never look at them in a positive light, just look at them as in a neutral light. It's far better than just trying to, man, I feel like squeezing you till you go wherever it is. Because that's how I feel too about these consultants. But I don't have the choice because it's part of my job, or maybe they just being put in that situation that I still have to look at them regardless of what it is, but just treat them as if they're just strangers.
Correct.
Okay, Pastor. So now can I like I can ask. I mean, I can do the 5 step, and that I will not come across to them again. If they ever come
Until that lesson learned,
again,
until that lesson is learned, they're going to keep crossing your path over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're gonna come up and push your button.
You're going to have to deal. At the end of the day, you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it's to really just teach you more how to love, not to judge. And like Anson said best, see them in a positive light, and see them, if you can't see them positive, see them in neutral. And then just keep in mind, okay, this is a business setting. This is only temporary. This is not forever. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to stay there and pretend like you're friends.
You're not their slave.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, I understand that. The thing is, it's a public association. There can be the member.
Yeah.
Okay, they can be a member of it, and they can participate in the event. Okay, yeah. So I was just thinking, if I'm not sure, I don't want to think the if.
I want you to practice on loving them more.
Yeah. So
Practice loving them more.
for me, sometimes, I want to show up. I want to show up if I have the chance and show to you that, look, I'm doing way better without you.
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe in a wrong attitude, but that's what I would do if I had the chance.
It would not serve the purpose. It would be counterproductive.
Yeah, I know. In the olden days, I used to do that.
Oh,
right?
Right.
Yeah, I just want to show up and show to you that I'm well without you.
I'm gonna give you guys a secret. When you're in, I'm gonna give you a secret. And when we say you and the Father are one, here's one of the tools that I want each one of you to practice. Because these people at the end of the day are brokenhearted.
Yeah.
When you get to the foundation of every last one of them, they're brokenhearted.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why you feel like the victim because of whatever they're going through. But if you're in those situations where there's public, just merely ask Spirit, what can I do in this situation to soothe my brother or sister's broken heart? And you will be amazed on the solutions you'll get, the experience you receive. Spirit, what can I do in this moment to soothe this person? Or what can I do to soothe my broken heart because I got an issue with this person?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one with the issue with them. They keep running to me doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to come around because I planted seeds, and nothing happened, but they keep running to me.
Mm-hmm.
It must be me. What do I change about me from them running to me? Because they have to learn a lesson also, just like you have to learn a lesson. So, Spirit, what can I do? And that goes with anybody who you are in confrontation with. Spirit, God, Source, what can I do in this moment to soothe this person's broken heart? When they're angry, fearful, yelling or screaming, there's a broken heart. Just remember that. If they're trying to victimize you, they're brokenhearted. Just remember that.
Mm.
And Spirit will give you an answer on what to say or what to do every single time. I do it all the time, especially with people that are very narcissistic.
Mm.
It's like every narcissist is drawn to me. Every last one of them. From the big narcissist to the itty down low narcissist, and I go, wait a minute, you're a narcissist. You was trying to fake me out. I saw you. Go ahead.
So when he's talking, when pastors say like that, it includes us.
You're not narcissist.
I am. I know that.
Oh no. We all used to be, but we changed because we had to become humble. Narcissists are not humble. They're not compassionate. They're not forgiving. They won't forgive. We have a president who is unforgiving and refuses to apologize for offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's narcissist. At the end of the day, I still love that guy.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, Pastor. We have a different thinking, we have a different perception thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, some people are, when they are a bully, they're a bully.
Yeah.
Okay. And they abuse their power, period. Okay. So they would come to you, okay, even like you said, then they will say they will apologize,
right,
or they will say that they are wrong. Then you use their power, their position.
Yep.
And who are you? You are just so lower,
But
so
that's what you're thinking.
It's that thinking, it's that thinking. And though the thinking, I feel sad. I feel sad for them. But I love them. Okay, if that's what you want to do and you don't want to change, okay, you just stay there.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, you know,
Also-
but I
also
do
learn
not. I do not want to have anything to do with you.
Right. And what I had to learn out of dealing with all the narcissists, I had to learn to, one, learn forgiveness, learn no judgment, and learn neutrality, and learn those 4 things I really had to learn dealing with narcissists. I really did.
Okay.
Above all, patience. Takes a lot of patience to deal with people like that. It's hard to deal with people like that and stay in love when they're continually trying to assert their authority and their power or their will over you.
And they won't stop.
Because you have not learned the lesson. Once I learned how to deal with them, they run away.
Okay.
Pastor, is there a way whereby can we help them, help the other party? Is that we give them the benefit of the doubt, we send them love, and then we see them in a higher level whereby they become more compassionate
Yes.
and willing to learn and learning from your mistakes.
I'm glad you said that.
They move on.
I'm glad you said that. When you're dealing with those people also, you being one with them and one with God, you can meet them in the spirit. One of the benefits in meditation is the out-of-body experience or the spiritual experience. We're first and foremost spirit before anything else.
Okay.
So spirit to spirit. And you just said it best. When you see them in that high level of love and compassion, you see their true beingness, their true spirit, and not the ego that's projecting, I'm this and I'm that over you, or I need to make myself feel this type of way and make you feel this way so I can feel better about myself. That's ego. But when you see them in their true spirit is love, because every last one of us is an aspect of God's love. Everyone, I don't care if they're murderers, rapists, I don't care. Their still spirit is love, period. Their actions different. Spirit, love. That's why there's no hell, there's no judgment, there's none of that people or Christians try to enforce, because God is love. There's no, if he's unconditional, you cannot have a condition. You can't say, oh, I love you. You can't say, oh, literally, I love you, but if you commit a sin, I'm gonna send you to hell. That's not love. That would be like you telling Anson, oh, I love you, hate you. What? I love you, hate you. What does that mean? Can't do it. And he feels the vibration of that love without you even saying the love. Narcissists feel it too. They feel it. That's why when you stay in love and meet them in the spirit, you'll be surprised at how many small little compassionate words or actions they'll do toward you. That you'll go, you normally wouldn't do that. You normally wouldn't say that. You normally wouldn't act that way around me. And now they become more friendly and more compassionate because you learn to meet them in the spirit. Hey, how you doing in the spirit? I just love you, and I'm not going to take anything you do here personally. This is not the essence of your being. You're good, holy, and beautiful. This is the only way I see you in. I see you as I see myself, and now you just need to be waking up. But I'm not going to let you step on me and torture me and victimize me. So now I have to cut a separation, and it's okay for me to separate you in this aspect of love because now I've learned my lesson. That makes sense?
That would be our homework.
All right. Any more questions, comments, concerns?
Really
Oh,
good.
tomorrow is there any Bible study?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What's tomorrow?
Monday.
Yeah, we do Bible study.
Oh, okay.
Why would we?
I don't know.
John, I gotta cancel my plans. I'll be wrong.
You know, also every time we always so looking forward to every lesson, and then you said no class. Oh, okay.
Hopefully I don't do it often. If I do, it's very important, or I just need like a little break or something like that. But for the most part, or it's either normally those two. Okay. Normally the first, where it's something important where I have to do.
Yeah.
Rarely the second where I need, because I never really get tired.
That is good.
All right. Love you all, and we will see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye, Pastor. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a blessed one. Enjoy.